Hannah.
My name's Adriana.
I'm Haley from Arizona.
We'll be talking about increasing awareness of weed and vaping usage. So for our icebreaker, we want to write about what you think. So our first question is, what effects stem from marijuana and vape usage? And you can come up to the board and write with you. One person? Anybody? Any takers?
What about you? Would you like to come up? Please.
Can we get one volunteer to go up to the board, please? Shh, wait a minute. Shh, shh, shh.
This is a great start.
Could I put NESS or is it I? Yeah, not to put. So let's just leave it as sleeping.
And for our second question, are there benefits to these substances, good or bad? Any takers? Bad.
It's a mixture.
Cool, man. Thank you for participating.
How did it begin? Well, weed dates back to over 12,000 years ago in northwest China. Cannibalists used it as for spiritual and medical practices, and vaping originated in Beijing, China, in around 2003 by a pharmacist called Han Lei. Did you know in 1927, Joseph Robinson created an electric vaporizer? He dreamt that this device would be used for medical compounds and decrease burning while smoking. The CDC national data, 14% of high schoolers have vaped before, and 37% of high schoolers have smoked marijuana. Yeah. What are the dangers? For vaping, obviously it hasn't been around for too long, right? And so that's the danger, is because we don't know what's gonna happen to you. Like if you do it long term, we don't know the effects. But the CDC predicts that it's gonna affect your lungs. You're gonna have like long-term lung defects or something, etc. For danger from marijuana, when you smoke marijuana, the smoke irritates your lungs, right? And so this could cause increased heart rate, which causes later on heart attacks, and it could give you, it could cause nausea, vomiting, and you can develop cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. Yeah.
So, who is to blame for the usage and encouraging of marijuana and vapes? So the usage of vapes and weed is technically our own decision. So there isn't really much to blame besides ourselves. We have the choice to not use it or to use it. And marketing and people who resell weed or vapes also are blamed to it, since technically teenagers don't meet the age requirement to buy weed or vapes. So that is who we blame. So what encourages the bad behavior? Bad behavior is encouraged by friends or peers who already use or smoke vapes, the need to fit into certain friendships, trying to fit in certain groups, peer pressure, marketing, curiosity, wanting to know what it feels like to vape or to have weed in your system, and it's easily accessible for some people.
All right, so we have a quick Q&A if you'd like to answer. Who do you think is the most affected by vaping? Okay, I'm gonna answer on the next slide. So who's affected by vaping? According to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, there are about 8.1 Americans that are utilizing e-cigarettes, also known as vapes. Yeah, over 2.55 million high schoolers and middle schoolers are reported to be using e-cigarettes daily in 2022. Since 2014, the most used tobacco products among American youth are cigarettes. Is this a surprising fact to you?
No.
That's valid. So now, if you'd like to answer, who do you think is most affected from marijuana usage? The same age group or older people?
Same.
So according to the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, 35% of young adults from ages 18 to 25 have reported marijuana usage. It is also reported in 2022 that 30% of 12th graders have utilized weed daily in the past 30 days. Marijuana can be highly addicting according to the CDC. There's 3 in 10 people that have developed a marijuana dependency and or disorder. Those who use the substance in their youth are likely to become addicted. And a study archived in the Library of Medicine details that adolescents' usage of marijuana has led to 3 conditions: poor educational outcomes, lower income and unemployment, or low satisfaction from relationships. And what effect does this topic have presently on our mental and physical? So vaping and weed can affect brain development in people under 25, which it can affect your prefrontal cortex from development. Teeth are more prone to developing bacteria, mast stains, and oral infections. For lungs, your lung irritation is caused by oily chemicals in vapes and THC. And your heart, you can have increased heart rate, leaving higher chances of heart attacks and heart disease. So these are just a couple pictures. This is what your brain would look like if it was a healthy brain, if you didn't use these substances. And this is what it looked like if you're a marijuana user. And then here you have non-smokers versus smokers. And then this is a teeth plaque that can develop from the oily chemicals in THC. And this is increased heart attacks.
So what are some long-term effects of marijuana usage? Okay, so the most basic ones are respiratory effects, mental health effects, addiction, and cardiovascular effects. So respiratory effects include chronic bronchitis and lung disease. Mental health effects include anxiety and depression, even though some use them to alleviate those symptoms, it makes them worse. Addiction, you may start with a low dose, but then as you keep getting addicted to it, you just keep increasing the way you use it. And cardiovascular effects include such as pre-existing heart conditions. So you may, once you start vaping, you're gonna realize that you're gonna have a certain heart condition, but you're not gonna notice when you first start using it. It's when you start getting a dependency on it. What can the government or school do to combat marijuana usage? So governments and schools can develop comprehensive education and prevention programs to inform students, parents, and communities about the potential risks associated with marijuana. So I feel like most of the people that use it don't really know what it is. They just use it because of curiosity, like Katie said, or because their friends are using it. So they don't really know what they're putting inside of their bodies. And so in general, governments can actually like do some type of class or therapy session or counseling to help the students that are addicted to it now. So in the future, they don't have to depend on it like they do now.
So what can an individual do to combat the effects of vaping and weed? You can make an appointment at a health clinic to get treatment, set boundaries and limits, engage in healthy activities, and surround yourself with supportive people who will help you throughout your process.
The challenges of regulating or managing the use of vaping and weed are health concerns, accessibility, and public perception. In conclusion, we're not here to criticize you or like mock you or anything or call you out, but we're just here to inform you about the dangers of it, and we hope you can take something from this presentation. To finish in our presentation, we would like to provide you some safe guidance, driving guidance. Many of us right here, we're driving or we're starting to drive, right? And HOSA members here at Forest Park High School advocates for safe driving measures. According to the Georgia Governor's Office of Highway Safety, young drivers refer to a person between the ages of 15 and 20 operating a motor vehicle. And according to Drive Smart Georgia, the majority of car crashes are resulted from the following statistics in 2019.
A distracted driver occurred during 52% of trips that resulted in a crash. On drivers that involved the crash, the average duration of distraction was 135 seconds, which equals roughly a little over 2 minutes. Distracted driving often occurs at high speeds, 29% at speeds exceeding 56 miles per hour. 11 teens die every day as a result from distracted driving.
I also would like to thank you and just acknowledge that we're pledging to drive safe, as it is a high-risk situation in our community. And we ask that everyone exit out of the right door as you leave, and our members have a token for you as you leave. So we have wristbands, pencils, and stickers for you. And we hope you enjoyed our presentation.
Thank you.
All right.
Y'all going what you doing on senior dish? What you want to do? Because I want you and your brother to come with us.
Where y'all going?
To Sky Zone. It's supposed to be Beltline.
Oh, bet.
Either that or
Yeah.
Urban Air. Trying to
Yeah.
figure out what's, but
We
Sky
can do
Zone
that.
cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, because Javen might drive. He gonna ask his mama for the car.
Yeah.
We was gonna leave in the morning, be there all day, and then go out to eat after.
Yeah, let me know.
I'm gonna text D'Angelo, tell him to let you know.
Somebody left their lemonade.
Lemonade, where's that?
Thank you.
Get it?